Hi friends, in this video we will be learning the linear programming problems solving by a Big M method by using Simplex Big M method. So here we have taken a problem, solve the following linear programming problem by using Big M method. So this is a problem, maximize z is equal to 6x1 plus 4x2 which is subjected to the constraint equation, that is 2x1 plus 3x2 which is less than or equal to 30, 3x1 plus 2x2 less than or equal to 24, x1 plus x2 greater than or equal to 3, and where x1 and x2 are greater than or equal to 0. So before we proceed to solve the following problem by using a Big M method, so here in Big M method, it is a method of removing the artificial variables what we introduce in the basis here. So in this method, we assign a large undesirable, or sometimes it is called as unacceptable, the penalty coefficient value like minus m. We will be adding two artificial variables in the objective function here in the standard form. So to remove this artificial variable, we are using this Big M method. So when we solve this Big M method, there are three constraints what you will get. So the constraint is, so if the constraint equation is less than or equal to, then you are going to add the slack variables. You are adding the slack variables, and if the equation, the constraint equation, if it is greater than or equal to, then you are adding the surplus variables. Here you are taking the plus s, and here you are taking the minus s. And whenever you have the surplus variable, you also add an artificial variable along with the surplus variable. And there is one more constraint equation where you get the equality symbol. So in such cases you use only the artificial variable in the constraint equation. So this is a basic what you need when you want to solve by Big M method. Now we will try to convert the equations whatever it is given in the Big M maximize equation. So we will convert it into the standard linear programming problem now. So now take the first equation. Here it is given less than or equal to. So what I said, less than or equal to means you need to add a slack variable. So add slack variable, that is 2x1 plus 3x2 plus s1, that is a slack variable which is equal to 30. Now we have converted this inequality symbol into equality symbol by introducing the slack variable here. Similarly, take the second equation, 3x1 plus 2x2 plus s2 is equal to 24. Again there is a slack variable because here you have a inequality symbol less than or equal to. But when it comes to third equation, third constraint equation, x1 plus x2 greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to means it is a surplus, you need to add minus s plus artificial variable to make it equality symbol. So x1 plus x2 minus s3 plus a1 is equal to 3. This is a surplus variable and the artificial variable what you added in the third constraint equation. And now add all these slack as well as surplus variables and artificial variables in the objective function. So here the objective function becomes 6x1 plus 4x2 plus positive 0 s1 plus 0 s2 plus 0 s3 minus m a1 minus ma1. A1 is the artificial variable, and here whatever minus m we have introduced, that is the largest, the penalty value or the largest coefficient we are introducing into the artificial variable in the maximization equation. So where x1 x2 s1 s2 as well as a1 artificial variable, all these are greater than or equal to 0. That means you cannot have any negative the products to be manufactured or products to be sold. It should have at least minimum 0 or maximum minimum 0, and it can be greater than 0 any value. Okay, now take this standard linear programming problem to solve by Big M method. considering the maximization equation and the constraint equations from the objective function in the problem, we will solve by using big M method. This is the first simplex table. What you have to take the standard table wherein Cj represents the coefficients of the objective function, current basic variable x1, x2, s1, s2, s3, and artificial variable 1. We have only one artificial variable a1, and this is a solution, the ratio, then zj, cj minus zj. This is a common table it will be having for all the types of iterations in the this problem. So now whatever coefficients you have taken for the objective function here, you have taken 6 for the x1, write 6 here, and here whatever variables you have taken, that is slack variables s1 and s2 you have taken, and we are not considered s3 here. So what is s3? It is negative surplus variable what we added here. To avoid this one, we introduced the artificial variable. Because of that, we are not taking s3 into consideration here. In place of s3, we are writing artificial variable a1. Now write the coefficient values of the objective function. X1 is 6, and for x2 it is 4, and s1 it is 0, s2 it is 0, s3 also it is 0, but whereas for the artificial variable a1 it is minus m. Now similarly you can write the coefficients for s1, s2 and the artificial variable minus m here. Now write down the constraints, that is the coefficients for the constraint equation. Here 2x1, you can write 2, then 3x2, 3, then s1, 1, which is equal to 30. You will get only in the solution column 30, but whereas these three you will get 0, 0, 0, and even the artificial variable also it is 0. The solution is 30. Similarly, you write it for the second constraint equation, that is 3x1 plus 2x2 plus s2, 3, 2. Here s1 is 0 because you don't have s1 in the second constraint equation. S2 you have, because of that you take it as 1. Then you don't have s3 or a artificial variable. Then you can write 24, that is a solution coefficient. Then the last the constraint, that is x1, x2 minus s3. So 1, 1. Here you don't have s1, you don't have s2, so you can take it 0, 0. And here you have s3, and that s3 is not just a positive value, it is a negative value, so write down minus 1. Whereas for artificial variable it is 1, so write it 1 here. And the equation value or the solution value, here it is 3, write on the 3. Now after substituting all the coefficients for the objective function as well as for the slack as well as the surplus variable constraints equation, now calculate the zz value here. So now you can calculate the zz by using this formula, that is the sum of products of the coefficients here, 0 into 2 plus 0 into 3 plus minus m into 1. So if you multiply and add all these things, you will get, because first two terms it is multiplied with 0, this becomes 0, so minus m into 1 will become minus m. So write down that minus m in the this column. So similarly you can do the calculations, because as the term in the coefficients 0, 0, when you multiply with any other columns here, so you get the product is 0. So only the last row, that is artificial row minus m, if you multiply you will get some values. So you can multiply minus m into 1, you will get again minus 1, minus m into 0, 0, again multiplied by 0 you will get 0, minus m into minus 1 it becomes plus m, and again minus m into plus m it becomes minus m. Okay. Now after calculating zz values, now calculate cj minus zj. This is called as a net evaluation row. So how to calculate this cj minus zj means, you have coefficients in the first row and zj values what you got here. So subtract these two, 6 minus m, 6 minus of minus m. Here this is a negative m, so it becomes plus 6 plus m you will get, right? 6 plus m in this cell. Similarly, you add 4 minus of minus m, you will get 4 plus m here. So similarly 0 plus 0 you will get 0, and again 0 plus 0 0, 0 minus m, so here you will get minus m. So this is minus m. Again minus m of minus m, it becomes 0. This is plus m and this becomes minus m. So the total sum it will be 0. So this is the net cell row, net evaluation row here, and here this net cell evaluation row should always be less than or equal to 0 for maximization problem. As we are solving the maximization problem, all the cell values whatever it is there in this row should be less than or equal to 0 to get an optimum solution. If the values are greater than or equal to 0, then the condition is not satisfied for the optimality. So you need to further calculate for the next iteration levels to get the final optimum solution. So to move on to the final optimum solution, in the last row whatever Cj minus Zj you have, so here you need to identify the positive highest value. So here the positive highest value is 6 plus m, 4 plus m, there are two values are there. So again m is the largest value, so when you add 4 and when you add 6, so 6 it becomes the largest value here. So take the largest value cell as a key column. This entire column becomes the key column for this first simplex table here, and whatever the variable it is there in the first column or the key column whatever you have taken, so this x1 will become the entering variable for the next iteration, and taking these values with the solution for calculating the ratio, divide the solution by the key column elements to get the ratio here. 30 by 2 you will get 15, 24 by 3 you will get 8, similarly 3 by 1 you will get 3 here. So now after getting 15, 8 and 3, out of these 3 you need to identify the lowest row value to identify the key row. So this is the lowest value 3, so this becomes the key row here, and here in the key row whatever the variable it is there, artificial variable a1, this becomes the leaving variable for the next iteration. X1 will be the entering variable, a1 will be the leaving variable, and the intersection of this key row and the key column wherever you get, so that element becomes the key element for the set. Okay, and here the key element value is 1. So we'll take the reference from the first simplex table, and we will try to solve the first iteration of the simplex table by big M method. So here in the previous table the key element was 1. So before we write the coefficients for these artificial variables and all these things, first we will write the entering variable and leaving variable. So write down the values of the coefficients of the objective function 6400 minus m whatever we have taken from the previous table, and now here the basic variable are s1 and s2 as it is, and here x1 becomes the entering variable from the previous table and a1 will become the leaving variable. So here you get x1 in place of a1 there, so this becomes x1, and now write down the coordinates or the coefficients for s1, s2, 0 0, and for x1 it is 6 here, so write down the coefficient value 6 for the problem. Now as we need to write the coefficients for the third row, we need to take the formula and we need to convert whatever the key element we got, that key element we need to convert it to 1, and we need to take the same conversion factor for converting the values in the same respective row. So here R3 is equal to R3 old by key element. So R3 old is 1 and the key element is also 1. So once you divide 1 by 1 you will get same 1 only. So you can write 1 in this cell here. Similarly, if you divide this entire row with same 1 value, so you will get the same values. So here you have the second value 1, so you will get 1 only again here, and similarly here you have 0 0 divided by 0 0 and 0 divided by 0 0, minus 1 divided by 1, it becomes 1, and solution 3 divided by 1, you will get 3 only. And here I have not written any value for the artificial variable. So once the artificial variable it is taken as the living variable here, so there is no need to calculate the values for this column here. You can just put dash mark for that respective column here. Now taking the row 1, now considering the row 1 here, here you have the row 1 value is 2. So now you take row 1 is equal to row 1 old minus 2 into R3 new. Whatever R3 value, row 3 value you have calculated, the new cell value, that is 1. So R1 old we have considered it as a 2, that minus 2 into 1, if you do, you will get 0. So that value you can write it for the S1 cell here. Okay, similarly you can calculate for the second one, and here R1 the old value is 3, so you take 3, and R1 R3 new value is 1, so 3 minus 2 into 1, you will get 1. Then write down that 1 in the S1 row. Similarly you can calculate for the remaining values, like 1 minus 2 into 0, you will get 1, and 0, 2 and 24. As I told, there is no need to calculate for the artificial variables here. Similarly, you can take for the second row now. So when you take for second row, the formula is R2 new is equal to R2 old minus 3 into R3 new. R2 old is 3 minus 3 times the R3 new. R3 whatever you are taken, the new value, it is 1 only. So multiply that by 3 times, you will get 3 minus 3, 0. So that value you can write it for the S2 coefficient here. So similarly you can calculate for the second value. So R2 old value is 2 minus 3 into 1, you will get minus 1 here. And similarly for the next cell, you have R2 old is 0, minus 3 into 0, you will get 0. Similarly you can calculate for the remaining values 1, 3 and here 15, that is you have 24 there. So 24 minus 3 into 3, 9, so 24 minus 9, you get this 15 here. So after calculating all the coefficient values, now it is time to calculate the ZZ value. So by ZZ you can calculate by using this formula, that is a summation and product summation of CB as well as A, that is the current basic variables into the coefficients. So here again when you take the formula for this one, 0 into 0, 0, 0 into 0, again 0, 6 into 1, it becomes 1. So here when you take the summation of these three products, 0, 0 first two terms, and the third term it is 6 into 1, so you get only 6. Write down that 6 in this cell. So similarly you can calculate for the second one. Again here the first two terms, it is as you multiplying with 0, you will get 0 only the third element you multiplying with the number, so 6 into 1, you get the 6. Again here 6 into 0, you will get 0. Here 6 into 0, you will get 0, and here 6 into minus 1, you will get minus 6 here. Okay, then if you take the product of again the sum and product of these two, the first two it is multiplied with 0, you will get 0, and here 6 into 3, 18, you will get as a solution value. And this is the solution value for the first iteration simplex table. This is not the final solution, this is the first iteration simplex table solution. Now we will see the net cell row, the net cell evaluation row, that is Cj minus Zj. Now calculate the Cj minus Zj. 6 minus 6 is equal to 0, and here 4 minus 6, you get minus 2, and here 0 minus 0, 0, and here 0 minus 0, 0, and here 0 minus of minus 6, it becomes plus 6. So once you calculate all these things, you need to check for the optimality condition, that is for maximization all Cj minus Zj should be less than or equal to 0. here all the terms it is 0 or less than 0, but only this cell is having 6 is having the highest that is the positive value, hence this current table is not the optimal solution. That means we need to improve the solution by taking the variables into consideration into the objective function. So now taking the net cell row here Cj minus Zj, the positive value is the key column, and this is the highest value, positive highest value. Consider this as a key column value, key column, and now this S3 becomes the entering variable for the next iteration, and taking these column elements, that is the key column elements, and the solution values, you divide that to get the ratio here. So that is 24 by 2 you will get 12, and 15 by 3 you get 5, and here 3 minus 3 by this is 3, and divided by minus 1 if you do, you will get minus 3 here. Okay, so out of these three values you have to take the positive least value. So here the positive least value is 5, so this row becomes the key row here. Okay, and after key row, so here whatever s2 is there, this becomes the leaving variable for the next iteration, and the intersection of the key column as well as the key row, this element it becomes the key element for the next iteration. Okay, now consider this first iteration table for calculating the second iteration simplex table. Now in this step, we will consider the second iteration table, second iteration for doing the second iteration simplex table. We are considering, or we are taking the information from the first iteration simplex table here. So here before writing the coefficients of all these values, first we need to write the coefficients of the objective function here, 6, 4, 0, 0 and 0 and minus m. Then the basic variables s1, and here in place of s2 it becomes s3 here, because here s3 is the entering variable and s2 is a leaving variable, and s2 is replaced by s3 here, and x1 it will retain as it is from the previous table. And now write down the coefficients for these s1, s3, x1. S1 is 0, S3 also it is 0, X1 it is 6. So the values remains same, unchanged in the coefficients of the basic variable here. Now consider the key row here and calculate the values for the key row. So for calculating key row elements, you consider the as it is row 2, take row 2 new is equal to row 2 old by the key element. So here the key element is 3 in the previous table, and the R2 old value also it is 3. So once you divide 3 by 3, you will get 1. Write down that 1 in the S3 column. And similarly, now you calculate from the beginning. So here you have the old value is 0. If you divide 0 divided by 3, you will get 0 only. So you can write 0 here. Similarly, you have the second term minus 1. So minus 1 by 3, you will get minus 1 by 3, and 0, you will get 0. So 1, 1 by 3, and here you have the solution is 15. So 15 divided by 3, you get 5 in the solution column. And here, as I said, the artificial variables we have not calculated, and as it is eliminated or it is left from the table, you can just leave it as it is, blank. Now considering the first row, the formula for the first row is the row 1 new is equal to row 1 old minus 2 into R2 new. That means whatever you do, whatever the key column elements you want, you try to convert that into 0, and while converting it into 0, whatever equation you have written, in the same fashion you just follow it, you will get the other values. So here the key element it was here 2 minus 2 into the R2 new. R2 new value is the one what you want for S3 here. So if you substitute that one, you get 0. So write down 0 in this cell. Similarly, now we can calculate from the first cell. Here the old value is 0 and the new value is also 0 for the R2 new value. So 0 into 2 it becomes 0 and 0 minus 0 it becomes again 0 only. Now you can take for the second value, the old value is 1 and the new value is minus 1 by 3. So 1 minus 2 into minus 1 by 3. So if you do this one, you get 5 by 3. Write 5 by 3 in this cell here. Similarly, you calculate for the next one, that is the old value is 1 minus 2 into the new value is 0. So 2 into 0 it becomes 0 and it will remain 1. The next value minus 2 by 3 and the solution value 24 minus 2 into 5 if you do, you will get 14. So similarly, now even you can calculate for the third row. So that is row 3 new is equal to row 3 old plus row 3 new. So the old value is minus 1 and the new value of the row 3 is 1, that is equal to 0. So you can put 0 in this cell. So this is not R3 new, this is R2 new. Okay. And so here the first cell 1 plus 0 it becomes 1, and here similarly you can calculate 1 plus minus of 1 by 3 you will get 2 by 3, and here you will get 0 and 1 by 3, and the last cell is 8. Okay. Similarly, now we can calculate the z values, that is the summation of the products of the coefficients of the basic variables here. So for this one, again the first two rows it is with the 0. So when you multiply with 0 with any other values, you will get 0. Only the last row 6 value is there. So if you multiply with the last row elements coefficients, you will get zj. So the other things you can just neglect it. See here you can see the calculation, 0 into 0 plus 0 into 0 plus 6 into 1, you will get 6. You can write that 6 in this cell. Similarly, you can take it 6 into 2 by 3, you will get 4 here, and 6 into 0 0, 6 into 1 by 3 it becomes 2. So 6 into 0 0. So finally, the solution for this current table is 6 8 is 48, because this 14 into 0, 15 into 0 it becomes 0, and here 6 into 8 48, you will get the solution for the second iteration simplex table. Now calculate the net cell row, here Cj minus Zj. So here Cj minus Zj, 6 minus 6 it will become 0, and again here 4 minus 4 you will get 0, and here 0 minus 0 0, and here 0 minus 2, so it will become minus 2, and here 0 minus 0 you will get again 0. So what is the optimality condition for maximization equation? For maximization equation, the optimality condition is Cj minus Zj should be less than or equal to 0. So we got all the values here less than or equal to 0. So all values are 0 and one cell it is having less than 0. So hence whatever solution we obtained here with this table, so this is called as a optimal solution. This is the optimum value, that is 48 is a optimum value. So now if you want to cross check with the values what we it is obtained from this table. So here for x1, what is the coefficient here got in the solution? It is 8. So take x1 is equal to 8 and x2 you don't have. So x2 is taken as a 0. Substitute that in the main objective function, that is z max is equal to 6x1 plus 4x2. Substitute x1 is equal to 8 and x2 is equal to 0. You will get 6 into 8 plus 4 into 0, again it is 48. Say 48 in the table and 48 in the objective function equation. So the problem is correct. Hence this is the big M method, how we can solve simply in a simple method by using simplex problems in the big M method. So if you like the video and if you understood the problem, please like it, share it and subscribe the channel. Thank you very much.